Hi, my name's Steve, and I have cloudy aquarium water. Well, more specifically in this tank, green water, but I have a couple of aquariums that are a little cloudy, and as you may know by the title of this video and the reason you clicked on it, we're going to be testing Hygger's water clarifier here, and we're going to see if it works like other products on the market. Now, I typically use another brand. You guys probably know which one that is. Since this is a Hygger sponsored video, I'm not going to mention that brand, but we're going to test and see, does it work just as well, in my opinion. Now, I want to preface this by saying I will test it in the green water aquarium, though green water is not really kind of what these flocculants are made for. They're made for more cloudy water that's like either bacterial or like just particles, dirty water, that kind of stuff, tannins, those sorts of things. All right, so some key core features here that the product states it does is it quickly cleans turbidity and reduces restores crystal clear water. Let's see here. Effectively aggregates suspended particles for easy filtration, safe and gentle, no risk to fish, plants, or beneficial bacteria. And let's see, what else we got here? Oh, it's good for freshwater or saltwater. Significantly reduces water turbidity within 30 minutes and fully clarifies water within 2 to 6 hours. So we're going to give that a shot. 6 hours is the max I'm going to give this product to do its work because that's what the box says. And then finally, no water changes are required. So let's crack it open, dose these aquariums, show you which ones I'm doing, and then we'll wait for test results. All right, so the first aquarium we have up here is our little green water aquarium. And again, this test is irrelevant. I want to make sure that's vividly clear that I'm just doing this as a test. I have cleared green water before with a flocculant type product, but this is not something that the product's listed to work on. I'm just doing it as a bonus test. So let's open it up here and read the instructions real quick. All right, add 10 milliliters per 100 liters. So 100 liters is 26.4 gallons. We'll call it 25 gallons. This is a 5-gallon aquarium. So for easy math, let's divide 25 by 5. It'll be a slight overdose, but that would bring 10 milliliters down to 2.5 milliliters if my math is correct. You guys love to correct me on my poor math, but I think I'm good on this one. Let's do here. Oh, the little measuring cup is cool. So you have 5 milliliters, 10, 15, 20, and then on the other side, 7.5, 12.5, and 17.5. So a great measuring cup. There we go. That is 2.5 milliliters. We dump that in there. Now, normally you're going to see a little bit of clouding, and I do. I don't know if you'll be able to see that on camera there. Let me try and zoom in. But kind of went white cloudy there for a second. That's what you want to see with a flocculant. All right. So that one's in the green water. Now down here, I have another aquarium that's kind of cloudy. By the way, the filters in both of the aquariums are these little Hygger filters. So I love these. I have new filter floss in them. So they should be prepped and ready to go for all of this test. We're going to do a little bit less. This aquarium's a little less than 5 gallons. I don't remember exactly what it is. This is a 12 by 12 by 12 inch cube, but we'll go ahead and dump that in there. Just under, I probably put 2 milliliters in there if I had to guess. So we've got that aquarium. All right, and now moving over to the paludarium here. Literally within a day of me doing a water change, I get massive amounts of tannins in this this aquarium. Well, it's not an aquarium, paludarium. And you can see there's a whole bunch of spiderwood there. One of those pieces was a brand new giant piece of spiderwood. And so I get these massive tannins here. What I'm going to do, I don't even know how many gallons this is, but there's no livestock in this aquarium. There's no fish, there's no shrimp, there's no snails, there's no nothing in here. This is a brand new setup. Let's get the 2.5 in there. Now the filter, if you're not familiar with this setup, the filter is behind this rock right here. So I'm going to just kind of spread this through the water column. Now this is kind of a different test because there's no filter pumping back into the water stream. This has a drip system. So it goes through a filter floss filter, and then I have all these little hoses up here that drip water throughout the paludarium. So we're going to see, this one might take a lot longer because it's not really like a high flow filter because of all those little tubings. So this one might take a little bit longer to clear up, but another bonus test to see what it does on black water, maybe an overnight test for this one. And finally, while my plant growing tank here, one of them, there's a bunch in this rack if you're not familiar with the aquarium setup in my house, but it looks pretty clear, and it is pretty clear, but this is a long aquarium, and so if we do the end-to-end test, I don't know if you can see any cloudiness in there. I can see some cloudiness, so I'm going to do an end-to-end test in this aquarium, see if we can get that crystal clear to where you'll be able to see that blue filter back there very, very clear. There you go. Now you can kind of see how it's a little bit foggy in there. So let's test this aquarium as well. Again, no livestock to worry about in this tank, so let's go ahead and drop some in there. All right, now this is like a 7.5 gallon aquarium, I do believe. So I'm gonna do just 4 milliliters. It might not be exactly the right dose, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. One key feature here that is just kind of a bonus, whatever plastic this is made out of for this measuring cup, it is hydrophobic. So when you dump the product in, you don't get any stain in the container, which is really cool. It's perfectly dry, and you just put the cap back on. All right, so our plant grow tank is done. It's dosed. We've got the paludarium dosed. We have this aquarium dosed with a Hygger filter and brand new filter floss. And then we have our green water dosed with a Hygger filter that was also cleaned prior to this video in preparation. So all of the filter floss is clear. All right, let's wait 30 minutes and see what they look like, and then we'll do the full 6-hour test. Hey Siri, set timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes starting now.
All right, timer is set, and if you have an iPhone and I activated your phone, super sorry for that. All right, as you guys hear right here, it has been 30 minutes, and let's take a quick look at the aquariums. Now, again, I don't expect, miraculous results in 30 minutes. I don't think any flocculent product is going to work that quickly, especially, we have a fairly small filter. I can see a little more brown there in that filter floss, so I'm pretty sure that it's working. But you can see still cloudy. If we move up to the green water aquarium, again, a little bit lighter to my eye. It's not coming through on camera. If I change the ISO setting here, you'll be able to kind of see, let's see, that's pretty close to how I see the aquarium. So I think it's working, but we'll have to check back in 6 hours and see how it's going. So it is 2 p.m. currently right now. Let me just go ahead and put the phone up here so you guys can see I'm not lying. All right, 1:59, we'll call it 2 o'clock. So that's going to put us 8 p.m. tonight. So I will check back at 8 p.m. tonight. I'm going to leave the camera set just like this, since this is our primary test aquarium, and we'll see you in 6 hours. Okay, it is now 8:18, so, 18 minutes past our 6-hour mark, and the aquarium is looking much better. We have not achieved that invisible water kind of look yet, but it's definitely working. It is much clearer. I'd say 75% more clear than when I first started. Moving up to our green water aquarium though, as expected, not too much success here yet. We're going to let it run overnight. Maybe it'll clear up, but green water's really hard to clear up with a flocculant. So this is working pretty good. Let's check on the other ones. Moving over to the paludarium here, it's really hard to tell if the tannin situation is getting any better in here. This is a very slow filtration with the drip system, and as it runs down the wood and stuff, we're picking up more tannins. So it's going to be probably a long process to see if this clears up. But in this particular aquascape or paludarium, I'm not that worried about it. The tannin situation is going to clear itself just over time. And finally, our test tank for the grow out system here, definitely a little bit better. It's not perfect yet. So again, with the 6 hours and the smaller kind of filtration systems that we're using, it's probably not enough filtration to do it in 6 hours. So what I'm going to do is let these Hygger filters just kind of work overnight. Again, it's a very small filter, even though it's a small aquarium. I'm sure if I put it in a tank like this, it was running a canister filter, we would have success in 6 hours. But I'm going to leave the camera set right here again. We're going to just go overnight. Tomorrow morning, I'll click the camera on and we'll see where we're at. Hopefully, crystal clear. Okay, it's the next day, and I'm happy to report we've got some positive results here. Now, the way that the ISO is set up is giving the glass a little bit of glare, so it doesn't look as clear as if I change the setting and I go to there. You can now see that the water is clear because I'm not getting any glare off of the glass. The ISO being too high is going to brighten things up. I'll show you. So as you brighten things up, it kind of puts like a fog, if you will, on that glass. But this is crystal clear, so we're good to go here on this aquarium. For reference, if I leave the ISO there and I pan over to this side, you can see the fog or the haziness in this aquarium over here. So probably need to use a little product in that aquarium as well to clear it up, but definitely happy with the results here. Even more so, I'm proud to report that the green water even cleared up. So if we look in here, not bad for the green water aquarium. We can see a lot more. Let me put the ISO back to auto here. And if I take you off the tripod, you can get a little bit better view. So you weren't able to see any of this moss and stuff, which isn't doing good, but that's not the point of the video. You weren't able to see any of that before. So definitely a major improvement on the green water aquarium. It looks like just regular water. I probably should do a water change in that aquarium anyway, just because get those algae spores out of there and clean the filter. Moving over here to our test aquarium for the end-to-end test for cloudiness. Let's go ahead and bump you over end-to-end. Look at that. Again, let me bump the ISO off of auto, and you should be able to see that we are fairly clear here. I wouldn't call it crystal clear, but really, really a lot better. You weren't able to see that filter back there before, so definitely a lot better there. As for the paludarium, I don't know. The tannin load that this aquarium produces or that this paludarium produces, it's unlike anything I've seen before. I've had wood submerged that has gone through the tannin phase faster than this thing, so I don't really know what's going on here. Is it more clear than before? Probably, but we're not going to include this in the test results because this is kind of a special setup, as I mentioned earlier, with a very light filtration load. So I'll keep working on this. I'm sure we'll get it cleaned up. All right, so that's going to wrap up this review on the water clarifier from Hygger. If you'd like to get this product, of course, I'm going to have a link down in the description below. There's going to be an Amazon link if you prefer to shop on Amazon. I'm also going to put a link to Hygger's website on there if you want to go directly to Hygger and order it as well. There's a coupon code I'm also going to put in the description down below so we can save you a little bit of money if you shop through Hygger's website using my coupon code. And really, that's it. Product works just like other ones that I've used before, so take your pick. The price will be up on the screen right here, so compare that to other products that you may be looking at. And if you want to go with Hygger, I give it a thumbs up. And of course, thank you to Hygger for providing the product and sponsoring this video. I appreciate your support since the very beginning this channel started. And that's going to do it, guys. So click all the buttons down below. Make sure to like and share and stuff like that. You know how to support the channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.